It began with a whisper, a pulse in the void that no instrument could detect, yet every sensitive mind could feel. Across the world, people awoke from dreams of celestial cities bathed in blue light, their bodies trembling with an unknown energy. Scientists dismissed it as collective delusion. Governments buried the reports. But the signal was real, and it was growing stronger. Somewhere in the depths of the cosmos, an ancient force had spoken. Humanity was about to awaken or be silenced forever. For eons, humanity has looked to the stars, searching for meaning beyond the confines of Earth. Legends speak of ancient beings, watchers of the cosmos, guiding civilizations through cycles of evolution. Among them, the Arcturians, an advanced extraterrestrial species, have long observed the Milky Way, waiting for the right moment to awaken the dormant potential within countless worlds. That moment has arrived. A cosmic signal, undetectable by ordinary instruments, has been sent. Its purpose? To ignite the long-prophesied galactic awakening. But as humanity unknowingly receives this transmission, forces beyond comprehension prepare to intervene. Not all beings in the cosmos wish for enlightenment. The night sky stretched infinitely above, an endless ocean of stars blinking like distant memories. Dr. Evelyn Carter, a highly respected astrophysicist, sat at her desk in the Lunar Observatory, studying a sequence of unusual data. She had always believed that the universe held secrets beyond human comprehension, but nothing could have prepared her for what she was about to discover. It began as a subtle disturbance in the cosmic background radiation, a faint yet structured anomaly that defied all known astrophysical patterns. At first, she assumed it was a simple miscalculation or interference from a distant pulsar. However, as the days passed, the anomaly became more pronounced, forming intricate patterns that no natural phenomenon could explain. The signal seemed intentional, as if it carried a message embedded within its frequency. Evelyn was not the only one who noticed the change. Across the globe, radio telescopes and deep space monitoring stations picked up similar disturbances. Scientists and researchers engaged in frantic discussions, trying to determine the origin of this mysterious pulse. Some speculated it was the result of a collapsing star or an unidentified celestial event, while others proposed it could be an advanced civilization attempting to communicate. While the scientific community analyzed the signal through their instruments, something far more profound was occurring among ordinary people. Individuals with heightened sensitivity, artists, empaths, and visionaries, began to experience vivid dreams unlike anything they had encountered before. They saw towering structures of pure energy, floating cities bathed in blue light, and celestial beings radiating wisdom beyond comprehension. Many woke up feeling an overwhelming sense of purpose, as if something deep within them had been unlocked. One such person was Daniel Reeves, a young musician from New York who had never considered himself particularly spiritual. Yet, after the arrival of the signal, his dreams became intense and unshakable. He saw a massive white star surrounded by shimmering energy grids, pulsating with an unknown force. A soft voice echoed within his mind, whispering a single phrase, "The awakening is near." The phenomenon was not limited to dreams alone. Some people began hearing a low-frequency hum, a sound that resonated within their very bones. Others experienced sudden bursts of intuition, as if they had momentary glimpses into a higher realm of understanding. As the frequency of these experiences increased, government agencies quietly took notice. High-level intelligence organizations classified the signal as an unidentified anomaly, launching covert operations to study its potential effects on human consciousness. While some officials saw it as an opportunity for discovery, others viewed it as a potential threat that needed to be contained. Despite attempts to keep the phenomenon hidden from the public, word began to spread. Online forums buzzed with speculation, news outlets cautiously reported on the anomaly, and spiritual leaders claimed that a great transformation was on the horizon. Some believed the signal was a form of extraterrestrial guidance, while skeptics dismissed it as mass hysteria. Evelyn, however, knew one thing for certain. This was not a mere coincidence. The universe was speaking, and humanity was finally beginning to listen. The Arcturians, an ancient race originating from the star system of Arcturus, are considered the most spiritually evolved beings in our galactic neighborhood. Unlike other civilizations bound by physical existence, They have transcended material form, existing as beings of pure energy and consciousness. For millennia, they have acted as the silent architects of evolution, seeding knowledge into the minds of receptive species. According to ancient Earth myths, hidden in Sumerian tablets, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and lost Vedic scriptures, the Sky Teachers once walked among humans, guiding them toward higher understanding. Were these teachers Arcturians? Were they the ones responsible for past golden ages of wisdom? The cosmic signal was never meant to be understood by technology. Instead, it was designed to resonate with the very core of consciousness. Those attuned to it, humans with heightened awareness, began to unlock latent abilities, telepathy, precognition, and even the ability to perceive higher dimensional beings. Governments took notice. Secretive organizations within global superpowers scrambled to decipher the phenomenon. Fearing a loss of control over the populace, they sought to suppress the awakening, branding it as mass hysteria. But the shift was unstoppable. As the cosmic signal spread across the planet, awakening countless individuals to a higher state of consciousness, an unseen battle began to unfold. The Arcturians had long anticipated this moment, knowing that not all beings in the universe would welcome the awakening of humanity. While they sought to guide and uplift civilizations, there were other forces that thrived in keeping worlds trapped in ignorance and limitation. These opposing forces, known as the Veilborn, had operated in secrecy for thousands of years. They were not physical beings, but rather entities that existed in a realm just beyond human perception. Their influence was subtle yet powerful, manifesting through systems of control, fear, and deception. For ages, they had ensured that humanity remained unaware of its true potential, feeding off the energy of confusion and suppression. With the arrival of the cosmic signal, the balance had begun to shift. People were awakening at an unprecedented rate, breaking free from illusions that had kept them bound for generations. The Veilborn saw this as a direct threat to their existence. They could not allow humanity to embrace its true nature. For once awakened, people would no longer be susceptible to manipulation. To counteract the awakening, the Veilborn initiated their own measures. They influenced powerful individuals in positions of authority, urging them to dismiss the phenomenon as a psychological delusion. Misinformation was spread through media and institutions, creating an atmosphere of doubt and skepticism. Reports of strange dreams, heightened intuition, and unexplained synchronicities were ridiculed, ensuring that those experiencing the awakening felt isolated and uncertain. Despite these efforts, a resistance began to form. Those who had fully embraced the awakening recognized the presence of the dark forces and refused to be controlled. This resistance was not about physical confrontation, but about raising awareness and strengthening the collective consciousness. Individuals who had once lived ordinary lives suddenly found themselves called to a higher purpose. They formed groups dedicated to sharing knowledge, practicing meditation, and raising vibrational frequencies to counteract the suppressive forces. The battle was one of perception. The more people who believed in their own potential, the weaker the hold of the Veilborn became. The Arcturians, though unseen, continued to guide and support those who sought enlightenment. The ultimate victory would not come from defeating an enemy, but from humanity stepping into its own power, realizing that darkness could only persist where light had yet to shine. And so the resistance grew, not with weapons or violence, but with truth, unity, and the unshakable belief that humanity was destined for something greater. Humanity stood at a crucial moment in its history, a moment that would determine the future of its existence. The cosmic signal had awakened countless individuals, opening their minds to a reality far greater than they had ever imagined. However, with this newfound awareness came a great responsibility, the responsibility to choose the path forward. The universe had always operated under the principle of free will. No force, not even the Arcturians, could decide the fate of humanity. The choice rested entirely in the hands of the people. Would they embrace the awakening and step into a new era of wisdom, unity, and enlightenment? Or would they allow fear, doubt, and external influences to keep them bound to old patterns? As more individuals became aware of the vast cosmic truth, two distinct groups began to emerge. There were those who embraced the transformation, seeking knowledge and deeper understanding. They devoted themselves to inner growth, meditation, and connection with the higher frequencies of existence. They knew that humanity was meant to evolve beyond its current limitations and become a beacon of light in the galaxy. At the same time, there were those who resisted change. Some feared what they could not understand, while others refused to let go of the familiar. The old systems of control attempted to maintain their influence, using every means possible to suppress the rising wave of consciousness. However, the more people awakened, the weaker these systems became. The Arcturians watched patiently, knowing that no civilization could be forced into enlightenment. True evolution could only occur when individuals made the choice for themselves. Those who embraced the awakening would find themselves stepping into a future filled with infinite possibilities, while those who resisted would continue their journey at their own pace. The time had come. The choice was in humanity's hands. The final battle was not one of weapons, but of perception. As millions of humans tuned into the higher frequencies, they began to see beyond the illusions. Fear lost its grip. Control mechanisms crumbled. The Veilborn, unable to feed on suppressed consciousness, retreated into the void. The galactic awakening had begun. Earth was no longer a mere planet of the third dimension. It was now a beacon of light in the cosmic sea. The Arcturians watched, not as saviors, but as guides. Their mission was never to interfere, only to remind humanity of the power they had held all along. And so the next chapter of existence unfolded, not dictated by external forces, but written by those who dared to awaken.